Yeah, we're live. We're as live as we. All right, we're here at Mingus Park. I decided to come down to the old park and do the live show. Every now and then, we do like to do like a homoerotic live show. We do it in random spots. Now, it's pretty dope. We're excited, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Usually we like doing the show in a public spot whenever we can. So we get to talk about. I want to talk about first off the covered call ETFs that I added to my portfolio. Very sexy, very beautiful, and it's good stuff. So one of the things I did was I was like, screw this. It's the first thing I said, and I was like, I have a lot of ETFs that are index based, which is perfect, by the way. I'm an index investor for the most part. That's how my portfolio tends to be. But yeah, overall, yeah, I got to add more covered calls to it. That's all there is to it. I brought my handy dandy notebook as well, my little mini notebook. We're live at the park, and it's exciting. As you all know, I'm a huge fan of chilling out at the park. It's a good spot to be, and who doesn't want to be at the park? So I decided, I was like, I want to be down here. I want to chill out and relax, and I also want to make a bit of a profit. There's nothing more sexy than making money sitting at the park doing a YouTube video, or the YouTube live, I should say. So anybody who goes in the chats, obviously, you know the rules. I'll answer whatever questions you want me to ask. I'll try to, at the very least. And I'll be honest. If I don't know, I don't know. And that's about usually the extent of it. Let's see here. So I got my handy dandy notebook. So we're ready. At least I think we're as ready as we could ever be for the show. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. Actually, you know what? We'll do a poll real quick. Let's do a poll. I figure we're doing a vertical live, so we got to do a poll. So let's see. Should covered. Let me see. Call ETFs be in your portfolio. Okay, yeah, so let's see here. I think we got the question in. So if we get the question in, okay, should covered call ETFs be in your portfolio? We're gonna we'll make it a simple yes or no question. It's either yes or no. And, it should never be 100% of your portfolio. That's one thing. I think you should never be 100% of anything in a portfolio. I think that you need to spread out your risk as much as you can. Now, here's the thing. I don't believe in the dollar one iota. So, truth be told, my philosophy is you could be in stocks only, so basically securities. You could be in international stocks or U.S. stocks, and your portfolio would be pretty safe overall. At least, that's the way it should be. But yeah, that's the way I see it and envision it for the most part. Grayson's on. Hello, Grayson. We got 9 people. And make sure you guys like the video, though. The more likes on the stream, the better. The more we can get pushed out to the world. So, more likes, the better. But yeah, so the question is, should covered call ETFs be in your portfolio? One person voted no, so 100% of you so far have said no. But what are your opinions? I like to hear from the channel. Now, I personally believe that covered call ETFs should be a part of your portfolio, but not the entire thing. Now, what do I mean by this? So, I mean like maybe 10%, probably maximum, should be covered call ETFs. Now, look, if you can really do whatever you want. You could have 0%, you could have 10%. 20-30%, it's up to you. I just think that there is a lack of upside with the covered call ETF, so there's really no growth because they're using those shares as pure collateral when they write the options contract and sell it out there. Now the beauty is you're getting premium. In a lot of ways, you're acting like a casino. So the beauty is, and because the expiration dates are so low, you're acting like a casino for like for all the gamblers out there, which is kind of neat. And I would rather be the casino than the gambler any day of the week. But that's always my goal. That's one of the reasons why I actually do like these particular funds. Now, the funds that I get into are traditionally like 100% of the shares that are in the ETF itself are used as collateral in these ETFs, which is kind of cool. That's probably the best part about it. Yeah, like I said, I'm a huge fan of just getting into those types of scenarios. But make sure you guys like the video, though. The more likes we get, the better. Trying to push this show out to the algorithm a little bit. So, like I said, for every like we get, it actually pushes this video out to so many different people. And I do want to be a more global brand. The Michael Garza Show needs to reach more people. We've helped a lot of people at least get financially free, and that's kind of the goal, and at no cost to them, which is kind of the goal. The information should be readily free and readily available. That's why I do the show for free. But of course, I always try to shill, like I always do, because I am a shill for certain products. You know me, I love asking on TV products, and I will always shill those as sponsorships. But yeah, overall. Like the whole idea is to act as the casino and not the gambler, and so that's one of the reasons why I try saying it's good to have covered call ETFs in your portfolio, but not 100% of the portfolio should be covered call ETFs. Maybe 10%, 20%. That should be the max. And I mean, honestly, though, everybody's different. If you want more of that income generation, that derivative income, sure, have more than that. Or you could even do it on your own. It just depends on how you want to proceed. But yeah, always talk to a financial advisor, obviously, even though I think, most people don't need one if you're just buying and holding for the most part and staying spread out, but spread out risk any day of the week. But yeah, John D. Rockefeller did. Pretty sexy. But yeah, overall, I think that the main thing I'm trying to accomplish is just kind of, not only being in one asset class, but being in multiple asset classes. So, for instance, I have exposure to U.S. and international stocks, pretty much EFs that allow me to have that exposure. Those exchange-traded funds give me that ability. Now, and then you have like commodities indexes, which are pretty dope. So if you get into the commodities ones, it's like you're getting into gold, silver, oil, you name it. So I love commodity indexes. Preferably, I'm okay with bonds. One of my mentors, Ray Dalio, and we have a bit of a fundamental disagreement. We've never talked to each other, but based on his work, I have a fundamental disagreement with him. And the disagreement is, I think his portfolio is a little too heavily weighted in bonds in the all-weather portfolio theory. So that's my problem with the all-weather portfolio, is it's too heavily weighted in bonds themselves. I think that you should actually be not minimal in bonds. I think 20%, maybe up to 30% should be totally just bonds. Bond ETFs preferably, because it gives you the ability to get exposure to bonds without having to buy any yourself, and they're all within the fund itself, and then they pay out those distributions pretty much monthly for the most part. It's really cool. So I'm a big fan of bond ETFs. I can't help myself. I'm all about that life, but at the same time, I'm more about, stocks primarily. That they take up most of my portfolio. I got pretty much a 50-50 split, I would say, between U.S. stocks and international stocks. I know some people like to do a 60-40 split between the U.S. and international, but honestly, I like it down the middle. And I never rebalance my portfolio. That is one thing. I will add to the weighting, but I will never reduce the weighting. That's the thing. I never reduce any positions. I only add to positions that I feel like in asset classes that could be expanded a little bit. Now, I'm going to elaborate on that. So, for example, let's say I got a 50-50 split between U.S. stocks and international stocks, right? And U.S. stocks, let's say they gain in growth, right? So they start taking up more and more of my portfolio in equity. So because of that, once I get to that point, once maybe on its own, the portfolio goes from a 50-50 to a 70-30, for instance. Then it gets to a 70-30% balance, right? So how do I offset that? Well, instead of selling off any of my U.S. positions, I simply add on to my international positions. The whole goal is to never sell off any of your portfolio. Because if one part of the portfolio is doing really well, you can add on to the other part and kind of try to rebalance it that way. But some people will reduce their positions, where I say add on to the position that needs to be increased. It's a bit of a philosophy difference between me and a lot of people, but I think it promotes, because I don't like reducing my portfolio in any sense of the word. I don't like it, just if my U.S. stocks are doing great, I like to keep them just sitting as they are. If my international ones are underperforming, that's okay too. The whole goal is to stay spread out, because the future is unknown and the future is imperfect. So if the future is imperfect, the one cure for that would be diversification. Now, Charlie Munger and I, we had a fundamental disagreement on one big thing: diversification. Diversification is something that I am completely into. I wish my boy Charlie was into it a little bit more, but that's okay. So we got 3 votes in the poll, by the way. Should covered call ETFs be in your portfolio? And let's see, 33% of you say yes, and 67% of you say no. There's only 3 votes so far. There's still more votes to come. Also, make sure you guys like this stream. The more likes, the better. But anyway, no, overall, this is so much fun. I love doing the show in public, because it's just like, you never know what's going to happen. It's live. It's fun. But it's a very, I wouldn't say sensual experience, but it's a very fun experience, because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, no, I love it out here. This is like one of my favorite spots to go. I didn't realize that they were doing swimming competitions near the pool, so it's super loud over there. So I was like, well, normally I would go to the benches in the woods, but it's just everybody's camping up there, and I was like, oh, it's like shit. So I just decided, I was like, well, I'll go to this spot. I'm sure people will still come through, but not as many, and it's not as loud. So that's kind of helpful. But yeah, make sure you guys like it. But overall, yeah, I mean, like I said, so if it's a 50-50 split, right? So let's say you start your portfolio with 50% US, 50% international, and then somehow it goes like 70%, then 30%. Like I said, if the 30%, like let's say international is 30%, you're going to want to add on to it, not reduce. You don't want to reduce the US holdings just because they're doing really well. You want to balance it, but you don't want to necessarily reduce anything. So in order to rebalance your portfolio, sometimes it's better to add to the asset class that's the weakest, if you choose to rebalance. I'm not a big fan of waiting. I don't really give 2 craps whether my whether my portfolio is super duper into whatever. Like, if stocks end up overtaking my portfolio, then they overtake my portfolio. I'm never selling my positions. That's the whole point. I'm a buy and hold forever kind of guy. I like to take in the dividends. I also plan on holding all my bond ETFs forever, because I like the yields that are, I wouldn't say guaranteed, but pretty frequent, and it's a monthly check in a sense. Let's see. Grayson said hi. Smooth Feeder says 100% Bitcoin. Bitcoin, there is no second best. Smooth Feeder, you drank the Kool-Aid, buddy. You drank the Kool-Aid. Look, Bitcoin is phony, baloney, dildo money. I repeat, Bitcoin is phony, baloney, dildo money. That's all I got to say to that. If anybody believes that Bitcoin is in any way real money, you are fooling yourselves, and you are letting the Bitcoin take a strap on and put it in your butt. Now, look, Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. So Smooth Feeder says, haha, I bought at 5,000. Hey, if you bought in early, that's great. And if you're still holding, okay, whatever. But here's what you need to do. I can't actually give advice, but, well, actually, it's not a real financial product, so I guess it doesn't matter what I say about it. But I will say this. Bitcoin is phony, baloney, dildo money. All right? That's all there is to it. All there is to it. So because it is phony baloney and it's dildo money, you could bet against it. You could bet against your position. There are ETFs that allow you to bet against Bitcoin. So that is a thought. So if you want to protect your downside, you could get into like the S-bit, which is pretty cool. Is there a squirrel behind me? I think there might be a squirrel. Is that a bird? I think there's a bird behind me. Maybe there's a bird behind me. Yeah, I don't know anymore. Yeah, but overall, it's like I really just try to amass as many different shares as I can of just about everything. So one of the things I was talking about, how I realized I didn't have a lot of covered call ETFs in my portfolio, and I was like, well, I do like the because I do have some, but I don't have. I wasn't as spread out and diversified in that as I want to be. I like to spread out my risk a little bit. So I thought, oh hell, why don't I just get into some covered call ETFs, because they do provide some incredible side income on a monthly basis, which is kind of nice. So big shout out to a lot of the ones that I got into. I can't even remember half the ones because I was just kind of looking up what was ever out there. But yeah, you just got to add to whatever position you have, and then also just never over concentrate in one single thing. You just got to spread out your risk and be in everything that's humanly possible. And that's the whole goal, spread out, because like I've got the safest portfolio in the world, and it grows relatively well. I'm in every asset class you can imagine. So as long as you're in every asset class that you could possibly imagine, and fairly exposed to what you need to be exposed to, I mean, you'll protect yourself against inflation, a decaying dollar. The dollar is decaying, by the way. Do not kid yourself. And if you save money, which I do save a little bit of money, but I do put it into high yield savings accounts. Still not the best idea in the world, because it doesn't really naturally keep up with inflation. So you're better off, in my opinion, talk to a financial advisor, but you're better off just investing and dollar cost averaging and stuff. But it is good to have money available, because if you have to put your expenses on a credit card, you're not doing yourself any favors, because you could be investing, but if you have to start putting shit on a credit card because you're cash poor, that's not good, because you're going to have like 25% interest rates or whatever on that crap. So not good, not good. Let's see. Let's see here. Everything Bits says, give me just 0.1 BTC smooth, could change my life. Bitcoin is grifter money. It's what grifters do. It's a multi-level marketing scheme, especially with a lot of the language that surrounds it. A lot of people say you better get in or else you're going to get poor. It's like, dude, it's basically a digital multi-level marketing scheme. And in fact, you could even say it's a decentralized pyramid scheme. It might even be worse than a pyramid scheme if you think about it, because there's really nobody truly making money except for the people promoting people to get into it. So that's another thing. Let's see. But Smooth Feeder says it's the best appreciating asset in history, only for now. It'll only be the best once it collapses, because anything with an intrinsic value of what? 0 goes to 0. So the whole idea is, just because people have convinced others that this is valuable even when it isn't, people will realize soon enough that this is not valuable. And when people soon realize that it's not valuable, it then suddenly crashes. This happened. This is with every useless bubble that's ever happened. So what happens is everything goes up rapidly. And of course, I bet against all that shit. I bet against all the dumb crap, because it's dumb. There's no reason to be into. There's no reason to be into Bitcoin by Clickcoin. It's no reason. Smooth Feeder says everything you need to earn your coin. Nah, dude, Bitcoin is phony baloney dildo money. Like I always say, once again, I repeat, phony baloney dildo money. So that is one of my favorite sayings in the world. Let's see. Everything Bit says, yes, Smooth, just need a little boost. Now, dude, like I said, it's garbage, man. If you sincerely believe that any of it's valuable, I mean, you don't understand basic economics, basic money, because it just isn't. I mean, just because the world has tried to convince everybody that something that is not valuable is valuable, because it's not. If something is not valuable, but the world thinks it is for a short period of time because nobody wants to, miss out on it, the truth is it's phony. So I mean, I'll bet against it any day of the week, absolutely. And I make money off of its downfall, and I'm proud of it. So I make a lot of money, not a lot of money. But no, it's fun though. I just if there's something that is really inherently stupid, I will bet against it. Like, it's just like, if everybody says it's valuable and I know it's not, and I'm just aware of it, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't valuable. This is not the future. Sorry. And that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's stupid. It's not the future. Sorry, buds. What really matters is, the real assets like gold. But Smooth Feeder says the chart never lies. That in itself is a lie because past performance is not indicative of future performance. So here's the thing. I understand that the chart for Bitcoin has gone up and up and up over the last 10 years or 15 years or something. But has it really appreciated that quickly? Sure, it's gone up, absolutely. And if you got in early, you got rich. Sure, that's fine. But the point of the matter is, just because people got rich off of something does not mean that it isn't worthless. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just as worthless as your NFTs. NFTs are worthless. Bitcoin is worthless too. The chart does lie, is what I'm trying to say, because just because the chart shows that it's going up, it can go down in a second. In a second. What was it, 2019, 2020? Bitcoin went all the way down to like $4,000 or whatever, or 6,000 or 10,000 or whatever. It went up really high when it went down really, 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 really low, and justifiably so, because what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin has no intrinsic value, which is worthless. Also, like the damn stream, you guys. Come on. I need more likes. I need more subscribes. Just like the video if you can. Like this stream. Like the stream, please. Anyway. Continuing further, the more likes we get, the more this gets distributed out to the public, and I need it. I want it. Overall, yeah. We got 4 votes, though. 25% of you say yes to covered calls being in your portfolio, and 75% of you say no. 75% of you like, hell no. Get that? I think they should be in your portfolio. I don't think they're necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think they should be all of it. It should be just a small part of it, maybe 5-10%. That's my opinion. Not financial advice, but yeah, all these people. Smooth Feeder says the chart never lies. Volatility is vitality. First off, just because the market says something is worth something doesn't mean it always is. Does that make sense? Take away Bitcoin's market cap, right? Take away whatever the market tells you it's worth, right? What does Bitcoin do? What is it? What does it do? It doesn't do anything. It's lazy. It's digital. It's just a string of data at the end of the day. What does gold do? Well, gold is malleable. It's a conductor. It could be it could be stored. It stays the same. Doesn't rust. I mean, there's plenty of benefits to gold, for example. However, there is zero benefit to a string of data at the end of the day. So you take away whatever the market says something's worth and really look at it as a purer product. What does the purer product of Bitcoin say about it? Nothing, because it's really worthless at the end of the day. So if you could take away whatever the market says about something and just ask yourself, what is the utility? What is the usefulness? What is this? That's the most important thing. And you have to ask yourself, why is this valuable? What does this do? If I look at Coca-Cola, I know why it's valuable. I don't even need to see what the share price is. It doesn't matter what the share price is. I need to know, well, what makes this particular company valuable? What is it doing? What is it producing, right? So whatever intrinsic properties are there, that matters. Bitcoin has no intrinsic properties. It's a string of data, and you know it. Let's see. Smooth Feeder says distributed decentralized global payment system, biggest computer network on Earth. Okay. Biggest computer network on Earth. Interesting. Isn't the internet the biggest computer network on Earth? You moron. The internet itself is the biggest computer network on Earth. By all naturality. The internet is a network. A super fat network. But no, all these stupid catchphrases that a lot of these Bitcoin bros come up with, like volatility is vital. It's like, that's a stupid saying. That is the dumbest saying in the world. I do not believe that for a second. And by the way, just because something goes up over time doesn't mean that it's valuable. It just means that enough people have conned enough people into believing that something that is valueless is valuable. We saw that with the tulip bulb craze. I mean, you got to ask yourself, what does this do? Like, I know what Coca-Cola does. I know what Coca-Cola is worth without even having to look at the stock price. And sure, the stock price is always going to be priced at a higher price, at a higher premium than what it's actually worth at the book value. I get that. But, like, I can at least tell you what the company Coca-Cola is worth. I can tell you what gold does. I can tell you what gold's utility is. But if you take away what the market says something is, take a look at it as a pure product. Bitcoin is phony baloney dildo money. All right? It's phony baloney crap. It's garbage. That's all I got to say. And so I don't believe in it for a second. And people can convince me that something that is valueless is valuable, but they can go F themselves at the end of the day. They can go take their Bitcoin, shove it up their ass. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Shove it right up your ass. I might take a walk in the woods here in a second, though. Might go up the trails or something. Oh. Oh. But yeah, anyway, I mean, I love how these Bitcoin bros try to convince me that something that is valueless is valuable. Keep telling me. Yeah, because I've already done the homework. When I was younger and more naive when I got into it, because it's funny, I got into Bitcoin when I was young and naive and didn't know anything. I never sold the position, and I realized, oh, shit. This is kind of... People are really pumping this up. I just cut my lip a little bit. Hold on. I'm bleeding. But, BlackRock acquired over 700,000 Bitcoin. Okay. And? Is it because they understand that people are dumb and are willing to actually pump up the price of this? Or are they trying to control the supply? If you think about it, they're trying to just control the supply because they know morons like you are going to keep pumping up the price. I cut my lip open, so I gotta stop that, man. But yeah, and but yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Bitcoin at all. I just know it's just not. I don't know. It's just not real. Like I could tell you what something's worth just based on certain things, whether it's like gold has utility. There's so many factors. It's like if you know what value is, you don't even have to guess. You don't even have to look at what the market says. Just because the market says something's worth something doesn't mean it really is. So it's a big deal. Let's see. Smooth Feeder says El Salvador best performing government bond because they are on the Bitcoin standard. Yeah, they're on a Ponzi scheme. They're using a Ponzi scheme as their standard. That just shows you they can't trust El Salvador. Smooth Feeder says it's fun to discuss, and I am the civil one in this conversation. Oh, I never said I was civil. I'm an animal. I'm a wolf. Well, not really, but I'm an animal. I'm not civil on this at all. If I think something's a Ponzi scheme in a net negative society, my civility goes right out the fucking door. I am not civil. You are right. I'm a monster, man. When it comes to this shit, I will shoot you down if you try to promote that Ponzi scheme. And I mean that figuratively, not literally. I mean, I will shoot you down with my words, is what I'm saying. Context is king. Anyway, but yeah, no, when it comes to civility, F you. F you, I don't need to be civil. In fact, when it comes to this sort of conversation, I need to be more disagreeable, if anything. I need to be more disagreeable and tell you guys to stop promoting a Ponzi scheme because you use MLM language like, oh, you better get in or else you're going to get poor. You're too late. If you don't get in now, you're not going to get rich. It's like, it's basically multi-level marketing. Smooth Feeder says, I'm trying to help, honestly. So, Smooth Feeder, just to let you know, I got into this garbage really early on and I never sold. I bet against it now. I never sold. I still have never sold it. What I'm trying to say is, I'm protected on either side. Bitcoin could go up to $1 million, I'd be fine. Bitcoin could go down a ton of dollars, I'd be fine. What I'm trying to say is you're not helping anybody. In fact, what you're doing is you're trying to convince a generation who is already susceptible to bullshit into getting into more bullshit. Right? It's basically just trying to encourage them to get into gambling, which is stupid. It's gambling. It's gambling squared. Maybe even more than that. Maybe even cubed. So I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of Ponzi schemes. I think Ponzi schemes are dumb, and yeah, I'm just not a big fan. I can't be a part of it. But yeah, I understand that you say that you're trying to help, but what if I told you you're not helping anybody? That's the point I'm trying to make. But yeah, civility goes out the door when I'm talking about this crap. But yeah, just because here's the thing, the road to hell is, like they always say, is paved to with good intentions, or whatever that term is. But yeah, it's like so many people are trying to convince people that something that is valueless is valuable, and that's crap. I'm done with that. And yeah, I'm not civil about any of this. I shoot down Ponzi schemes like a madman. I hate Ponzi schemes. If there's anything, I want to try to steer away a generation from that crap. And but I will bet against a Ponzi scheme, absolutely, because if I see something that is dumb, I will absolutely bet. Smooth Feeder says Bitcoin triggers you. Absolutely, it triggers me in the sense of my ethics. My ethics say, first off, I put the douche in fiduciary, but my fiduciary instincts say that I, in good consciousness, cannot encourage people to get into this Ponzi scheme, is what I'm trying to tell you. And the fact of the matter is, I'm triggered that there's people like you more than anything. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's not really Bitcoin. It's actually people like Smooth Feeder, who is the problem. Smooth Feeder says, "Do you know about micro penis strategies, Michael Saylor?" Yes, I know about Michael Saylor. In fact, I frequently make fun of that man on this show because he is a grifter and a Ponzi scheme artist, and he has turned a generation of young men into gamblers, and that sucks. So, I'm the casino. The people who get into Bitcoin are the gamblers, all right? Because I'm betting against Bitcoin in itself, because the more it goes on a bull run, the more I bet against it. I trickle buy into ETFs that are leveraged, which means I win and you lose. Let's see. Smooth Feeder says Bitcoin is pure. I actually made a lot of money today on one of my one of my leveraged ETFs that allowed me to bet against Bitcoin. I had like a 8% gain or something like that. It was insane. And I just sold a couple shares because I had bought them at a very low price, some of the shares. But yeah, I love, nothing gets my nipples harder than betting against Bitcoin. So I will say this fun fact. Well, here's a little hack if you guys want to do this. So I have a Venmo credit card. I don't recommend anybody doing this, but I just want to say my personal experiences, my personal life hack. So I do have a Venmo credit card that gives me 3% cash back on my top spend category. And what I do is I use it strictly as a grocery shopping spending card. So like if I go to Walmart, or if I go to like Grocery Outlet or something like that, or one of the local stores around here that's grocery related or anything, I get 3% cash back by default. So it's really neat. So anytime I go to like a discount grocery store like Grocery Outlet, I'm getting not only am I getting good prices at Grocery Outlet, I'm also getting 3% cash back. And what that essentially means for me is that I'm able to get 3% cash back, and I convert it into Bitcoin. Now, I hate Bitcoin. I want to make sure everybody's clear on that. One of the reasons why I convert my cashback rewards into Bitcoin is, let's say you idiots do pump it up to $1 million per coin. Okay, granted, I'm adding on to a position that I already have. So it's funny. No matter what happens, if Bitcoin goes up or down, because I already have a pretty surprising large position in Bitcoin, I get to still bet against you and myself, really, which is kind of funny. But I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to bet against the bull run, because what Bitcoin really is at the end of the day is a phony baloney Ponzi scheme. It is phony baloney dildo money. And like I said, I can't in good conscience support an obvious Ponzi scheme. It's just not something I could do. And yeah, I'm just not about it, man. So if anybody tries to convince me that a Ponzi scheme is an investment, I got to tell them to F the hell right off, because I've done my homework. I love how all these Bitcoin bros say that I haven't done my homework, which, oh, I have, trust me. Oh. And the funny thing is, the more you learn about it, the more you realize how much of a Ponzi scheme it is. And then you're just like, oh, it has zero. When the moment I discovered it had zero intrinsic value, I already had my suspicions that it was worthless. But I wanted to make sure, right? So I looked at it more as a pure product. And, it's an excellent piece of software. I love blockchain technology. I think it's fascinating. But Bitcoin is not worth anything. Trust me. It just isn't at the end of the day. Now, the market says it's worth, what, $113,000 per coin? Okay. The market's wrong, and it has the right to be wrong, but while the market's wrong, I'm going to bet against all you guys. Let's see. Gen Z Money says, I made a lot of money buying Bitcoin and ETH back in 2020. Hey, I mean, look, if you made money getting into it, fine. But I just want to let you know, you could have easily not made any money at all, is what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by that is it could have easily went down because it is a worthless product at the end of the day. Look, it's gonna go down. It has to. Anything with an intrinsic value of zero must eventually go to zero. And that's the whole idea behind it, right? And that's just kind of my thoughts on it. So if it has no value, then what the hell is the point? That's the way I see it. Let's see. Smooth Feeder says my first Bitcoin was $5,000. It's now 113,000. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, hey, if you got into it early, that's fantastic. All I'm trying to say is just because you got into something doesn't mean it's worth anything. You know what I mean? And good for you for holding. I mean, that's fine, fabulous. But at the same time, you should probably bet against yourself in that situation, because and I've already given everybody the warnings that they need, that it is worthless and it is a net negative to society. Let's see. Smooth Feeder says time in the market beats timing the market. Here's the thing, though. I love this. You're using stock market philosophy, which the stock market actually has productive assets in it, right? That makes sense. That's real. That is something. Those are productive assets. But don't compare something like, oh, there's a sweet dog. But don't compare anything that's worthless to something that's worth something, right? If something's worthless, don't compare it to something that is worthwhile, is what I'm trying to say. And in this instance, my philosophy is that Bitcoin's a net negative to society. It's a bad thing, and it's just a string of data at the end of the day, and it's not backed by anything of real value. It doesn't have any real utility. You take one look at it, it has zero utility, and that matters. It matters a lot. And I don't know. I'm just tired of people saying that something that's worth zero is worth something. That bugs the crap out of me. That something that is naturally worth zero. Now, I love how people say, well, the market says it's worth this. It's like, well, just because the market says something's worth something, it doesn't mean the market's right. Markets can be wrong. I mean, like, if you look at bubbles throughout the ages, like, things that shouldn't go up in value just because people think it should, not because it actually deserves to go up in value. And that's the problem, is markets are based on emotion usually. Now, there are real fundamentals in most markets, but in Bitcoin's markets, there are no fundamentals. Fundamentally, Bitcoin's worthless. So you can conclude that the entire market of Bitcoin is founded on nothing but emotion, people's emotion, right? Gen C says exactly, Smooth, but dude, don't compare crypto markets to the actual stock market. That's like saying that you can compare what happens in a casino to what happens in the market. Don't get me wrong. The stock market can be a casino, by the way. Granted. But I have tons and tons of stocks. I've got tons and tons of bonds. I got tons and tons of real commodities. You guys are out there trying to tell me that Bitcoin, my ClickCoin, is worth something, which honestly, don't give me that garbage. You know it's garbage. I think that's the most frustrating thing about this is people are just trying to convince me that it's worth something, and I can't do it, man. I can't do it. Give me 1 second, folks. Oh, I even got a lot of dividends today. Damn. So yeah, I'm a big guy. When it comes down to it, I just want my investments to be able to have cash flow. That matters to me. I get a lot of income from my dividend investments. I have a pretty large portfolio, but a micro penis. Uh, let's see. You could send. Let's see exactly. Smooth Feeder says you can send money globally, peer to peer, without a middleman. There is huge value in that. Look at how much money is exchanged on the Bitcoin network and wake up. It does have value. Okay, no, it doesn't. Because you're exchanging data, not money. If I go into the crypto markets, right? Let's say I go on Coinbase and I want to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, right? $100 worth of Bitcoin. I'm not actually putting money into Bitcoin. I'm actually trading $100 to some people out there who want to give me their Bitcoin for my dollars. You're not putting your money into Bitcoin when you buy Bitcoin. I just want to let you know that. So you're not actually transferring money at all. You're basically just transferring strings of data. Does that make sense? You're just transferring a string of data from one. Of course, it's easy to do that globally, as long as the internet exists. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that you guys are idiots. I just think you guys are morons. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. You guys are trying to tell me that something that's valueless is worth something? Hell no. I refuse to believe that. Yeah, you need to wake the fuck up, dude. Smooth Feeder, don't tell me to wake up when your eyes are shut. Smooth Feeder says it's a ledger. Yeah, it's a ledger of data. Just data. It's just showing you, like, Bitcoin is just a string of data. You're owning a string of data. You don't own money. You own a string of data, and then you could send that string of data to somebody else across the globe, and then it goes from your wallet to somebody else's wallet. But it's still a string of data, and of course it could do it quickly. It's just stupid. It really is dumb. And Smooth Feeder says it's the most liquid asset you can own. Yeah, it's liquid until people stop wanting to buy it. Right? It's liquid until people stop wanting to use it. Don't tell me it's liquid. Don't tell me, because you're lying. It could be for now, but it's not permanently liquid. All right? Smooth Feeder says, okay, see you, good luck. Hey, dude, I'm in the same league you are. I got in early, idiot. Jack says money is information. No, money is actually gold and silver. That's real money. Money, sound money, is actually backed by something that is valuable, like gold and silver, some sort of commodity. Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed. It's just backed by decentralized software. At the end of the day, it's just software. And the irony is, it's so funny. The Bitcoin bros back in the day said, we don't want Wall Street in here. This is about staying away from governments and staying away from Wall Street. And the irony is, you guys are sleeping with Wall Street. You guys allowed Wall Street to creep right in and create ETFs. Now, you guys say that you guys want Bitcoin to be preserved. It's like, well, sure you do. No, you don't. You guys allowed Wall Street to basically get into Bitcoin and start buying it up. You guys are morons. Jack says it's an accounting system. An accounting system for what? Dude, it's phony baloney dildo money. And the higher that Bitcoin goes, the more I bet against it. I'm going to tell you that. And it's just an accounting system that's pointless because it's not real money. It's not backed by anything, man. And also the dollar's not real money either. Both are fiat by all definitions. So don't go trying to convince me that something that is valueless is valuable. Because I'm not buying it. Literally and figuratively. Smooth Feeder says 100 Jack. Now, I will say that you guys have more to prove to me than I have to you. You guys are the ones who have to prove to me that it's valuable. Right? And you guys haven't. You guys really have not. You guys haven't proved anything. And that's the whole point. And it's sad that we live in a world where people are convinced. Basically, we're literally living in bubble times. And, honestly, it's a sign of a bad economy, if we're going to be honest. It's a sign of rough economic times to come when people are convincing others, and people are falling for it, that the Ponzi scheme is valuable. So, I don't know what to tell you guys at this point. You guys have kind of dug your own grave on this one. Smooth Feeder says it's perfect money, and that might be the most ironic statement. It is flawed money. In fact, it is not real. It is fake. It is fiat. Bitcoin and the dollar. Here's the thing. Here's the scary truth that you can't handle. Bitcoin and the dollar are both fiat. I'm going to note that down. Are both fiat, which they're both fake. They're both not backed by anything of real value. That matters. Retail says no one needs to prove anything to anyone. People get Bitcoin at the price they deserve. Price they deserve. Yeah, exactly. The price that they deserve is $0. I think if you trade any money away for Bitcoin, you deserve $0. In fact, I hope the whole market crashes on everybody. I hope the entire crypto market crashes because it's a phony market. It's a market propped up by nothing. Nothing, and I mean it. It's a phony baloney market, and I can't wait to see it all collapse. Now, the thing about like the stock, let's compare the stock market to the crypto market. All right, think about it this way: the crypto market's just a bunch of money, crap, and garbage. Companies and real things that have proven cash flow and actually do something of benefit to society in general. So yeah, you guys are all idiots. You guys are all morons. I'm not going to be civil with you guys. I'm going to call you guys as you are. You guys are just bad people, and you're promoting Ponzi schemes. And sorry, if you're wrong, you're wrong, and y'all are wrong, man. So we got 6 votes in the poll. Let's take a look. Make sure you guys like the video. More likes, the better. Should covered call ETFs be in your portfolio? 17% of you say yes, and 83% of you say no. But yeah, make sure you guys like the video right now. Do it. Do it. Might go on a walk here in a little bit once the sun goes down a little bit. But yeah, you guys are trying to convince me that something that is fake is real, and I don't like that. I can't do that, man. This is such garbage. Yeah, it's just like when Ponzi schemes become publicly acceptable, it's like that's a sign of garbage times, and that's the problem. But I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I can't do much about it, but I can. I could bet against you guys. I bet against you guys all the time. 24/7. I make a lot of money off of it, and thank goodness, because you guys are trying to promote to people that something with an intrinsic value of 0 is worth like $100,000. That's stupid. You can't convince me that a worthless string of data is worth something. Sorry. But hey, that's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. Ponzi schemes. But yeah, I'm more than happy to bet against it because I feel comfortable betting against anything that's ridiculous. Daniel K says, "What do we have here? An intellectual?" No, I'm far from it. I'm smart, but I'm also retarded. Let's see here. I'm a savant. I'm basically an idiot with no social skills. Still, let's see. Daniel K says, "What do we have here? An intellectual?" Yeah, I mean, I'm smart enough to know that Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme. Daniel K says, "Damn, my bad, bro." It's all right, brother. It's all right. But yeah, no, Bitcoin's a Ponzi scheme, and I'm trying to tell the world that it's a Ponzi scheme, and trying to let people know that anything that's worth 0 deserves to go to 0. Well, anything that's naturally worth 0, because you can't convince me that it has utility, right? Gold has utility. Silver has utility. That is important. You know what doesn't have utility? Oh yeah, Bitcoin, you dingoes. It's worthless. So I don't know. People love convincing other people that something that is. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Let's see. Daniel K says, but also very self-aware though. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Value is subjective. Actually, no, value is not subjective. Intrinsic value does matter. Intrinsic value goes beyond perception, right? So to say that you're basically saying that value is based on perception, when to some degree that's true. But also, intrinsic value was discovered to get rid of human biases, right? To actually find out, is this thing valuable, and can we measure its value to some degree? Let's see. Smooth Feeder says global decentralized payment system. Yeah, it's just okay. It's global and okay. It still strings of data. That's all it is. You're not like, I hate it when people say I'm putting my money into Bitcoin. No, you're not. It's worthless, man. It's worthless. And that's all I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to convince me that something that is worthless is worth something, I can't be a part of that. So it's a Ponzi scheme, and I'll bet against it any day of the week. I love betting against Ponzi schemes and making money off of it. Gets me a juicy one. Let's see here. Daniel K says, say something dumb. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess I could say something dumb. Bitcoin is a net positive to society. That hurt to say that. It's not. Bitcoin's stupid as shit. Bitcoin's dumb, man. Like, I just don't understand. You're trying to convince me that this Ponzi scheme is valuable. It just blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. Nathan says clipped. Clip it, chat. I just said Bitcoin is a net positive society. I only said it though because Daniel K said say something dumb, and I was like, okay, I'll say that Bitcoin's a good thing. Bitcoin's so cool, you guys. I love Bitcoin. I want to. If Bitcoin person, I would F it in the A. But let's see. But yeah, Nathan got me. Clipped it. I'm so sad right now. Let's see. Daniel K says laughing emojis. Got him. Hey, I'm a fraud. I'm a damn fraud, man. But you know, I love betting against Ponzi schemes, and I'll tell you what, it's I'm very passionate about it, to say the least. One of my papers kind of ripped off. That's what I do when I had my handy dandy notebook. Let's see. Oh, what else do we got here? Well, we got other crap. But yeah, no, it's just like, you know, for the life of me, it's just, you know, you see Ponzi schemes that have cropped up all throughout history. I mean, you saw like, what was it, the tulip bubble and all sorts of garbage. But yeah, I'm happy to bet against that crap, just because it's like, just because the world tries to convince you that something's real, or I should say that something's valuable, doesn't mean that you should be a part of it. In fact, you should usually bet against the herd, because if the herd is incorrect, then you bet against the herd, right? That's the whole point. And yeah, as the old saying goes, yes, it's insane to go against the grain. I guess it's safe to acquiesce or whatever. But you know what's even better than liking Bitcoin? I'll tell you what. For every like that I get on this video, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I will say one, even if I have to lie to you guys, right? So for every like that I see come through the pipe, right? I will say something nice about Bitcoin. I don't want to. Even if I have to lie to you, because I still think it's a net negative to society. I think it's a bad thing, so it's like, ugh. But oh well, it's the way it goes. Let's see. Daniel Case. Oh, so my boy Nathan said. Oh, actually, hold on. Let's just go back to the chats here. So retail says, "What's your day job?" Well, I'm not going to go into details, but I do basically call center work, and then so that's my main job, and then I do other things. And then Nathan says, "OnlyFans." That is another side gig. I'm not going to promote my OnlyFans channel on YouTube because I don't want to get banned, but. But yeah, OnlyFans. I do have an OnlyFans channel, unfortunately. Let's see. Daniel K says he used to work on Wall Street. Only vests. Daniel K also asks, "What is your highest level of education?" You definitely went to college. I went to college for just a semester, one tiny semester. College was worthless to me. I just decided to start working. Daniel K says you should do something in sales. I do affiliate marketing as well. So I do affiliate marketing on this channel. But overall, I do have a job where I work 40 hours a week. I take inbound calls to technical support. Basically, like I won't go into detail what I do, but let's see. Daniel K says, "Bro got a degree in yapping." Absolutely, man. I can talk a million miles per hour if I need to. When I'm in the zone, man, when I'm in a certain flow state, I can talk about just about anything that comes to mind. My mind can work at I either can slow down my mind or I can speed it up if I need to. But it is an ability. Sometimes I go a little too fast, though. I try not to go too fast. But let's see here. But yeah, I got a degree in yapping, absolutely. But yeah, no, 12% of you guys said yes, and 88% of you said no on the covered call ETFs being in one's portfolio. Um, yeah, but yeah, only vests. My boy Nathan, absolutely right, man. He caught me. He caught me saying that Clickcoin it's worth something. Honestly, though, it's all worth the same. It's all worth zero. Whether it's Fartcoin to Bitcoin, it's all worth zero at the end of the day. I know the markets. I love how the market says one thing, but markets lie. Just because the market is pricing something that's valueless as valuable, just shows you that we're in clown times. And sometimes it's tough to realize when you're in clown world. I mean, it's not for me. I know we were in clown world for a while, but yeah, Ponzi schemes run amok. Hey, it's an opportunity for me to make money betting against them, though. And betting against a Ponzi scheme that's going up in perceived value is a good thing. So the thing is, with these types of Ponzi's, the perceived value is 100%, the fundamental value is 0. So that's all I'm trying to say. So I refuse to get into Ponzi schemes, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I got into some stupid things when I was younger, obviously. When you're young and you don't know any better, sure. But, yeah. Daniel K is asking, what's the Wi-Fi password? I'm just using my cellular data to do this live stream on here. I'm doing it all from my cell phone. I got my Mint Mobile. By the way, I am an Amazon associate, so if you guys want, I earn from qualifying sales. So if you guys actually click the link, buy something, it helps support the channel. Links are in the description below. But yeah, anything you guys want, you guys can buy the microphone I use. You guys can buy the computer I use. All the links are there. Help support the channel overall, but I love selling crap. So I think I'm a natural salesman. Maybe not the best, but I feel natural enough. I've got natural. Well, my tits are fake, but my tits are fake. But I got all the good shit. Daniel K says, yeah, sales is your strongest suit, bro. Lock in. Nah, here's the thing, man. I prefer to sell things to people that they really want. So one of the reasons is I like to talk about like products, but I don't like to push products on people. Like, I'll do a review on a product and tell people what I use it for, but that's pretty much what I do. I try not to push the sale because I don't want somebody to buy something that they think they got to get, So I try not to be pushy on selling things. I try to just be really good at marketing. Marketing's really the most important thing to me. But yeah, I mean, salesmanship really just kind of, just being enthusiastic about what you're selling. I mean, really enjoying it and being authentic, like for instance, when I talk about the Scrub Daddy, I light up, dude. I love the Scrub Daddy. I'm all about that life, dude. That's how I live my life. And yeah, so it's the way to do it. I love promoting products whenever I can, though. So always plenty of ways to promote products out there, and it's doing Amazon Associates has been really entertaining to me. But yeah, the more videos I make, the better it gets. So let's see. Daniel K says, "Sorry for hijacking your live. I'll let you get back." Hey, no, dude. This is why I do the live videos, so I can interact with the audience, talk to the chat members, really kind of get your guys' feel. Debate you guys, talk to you guys. The whole I love it when people chat in the chat. That's why the chat's there. So, yeah, and it'd be boring to do a pre-recorded video. You know what I mean? This is why I do live videos in different locations, because, like I said, anything can happen. Sometimes it's unedited, it's unfiltered, and that's kind of the whole idea behind a live video. It's just it's a surprise. So I was thinking I stole this from a bit of an Asmon Gould video. Uh, the idea was doing an unboxing video, but after you unbox the product, you burn the product. Now that sounds a little crazy. Now hear me out. So it's actually kind of a funny idea because how like the whole Labubu craze has been going on. Everybody's talking about Labubus or Lafufus or whatever they're called, right? Well, I was thinking, what if I did a Labubu unboxing video and then during the video light it on fire? I would not do that actually because I can't stand wasting stuff. But if I was promised, I guess if I was paid a lot of money to do it, I'm anybody's dog for a bone sometimes. Not all the time, but as long as I'm not doing anything truly unethical. I still have ethics, shockingly. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, I'll do just about anything as long as it's not like, even if it's degrading. I don't have any real what's the word, dignity. Do I have dignity? I don't know. I don't have an image. I mean, I guess I do have a look. I got my short hair, my shaved no beard, and I got my chest hair sticking out. I look like I'm dressed like a really bad yoga instructor. I got my fake tits hanging out, dude. I got my tits. Wow, I was actually surprised by this poll. I thought more people would say yes to having some form of covered call ETFs in their portfolio. Like, look, I'm not saying it should be 100% of your portfolio. What I'm saying is that you can have some covered calls in the portfolio to give you a stream of income to then buy more stocks. It's kind of nice. And another thing, during a bear market, covered call ETFs really came in handy for me because I was able to get a lot more income than usual from the covered calls, which was really dope. Let's see here. So, my biological stepson, Ty Lord, is saying, breaking news: a man broke out of your trunk absolutely covered in baby oil, screaming, "Dad, I'm coming for you." Shit. That's what I get for giving my biological stepson a almost lethal dose of steroids. So if you have a biological stepson, do not give him baby oil and steroids, and and don't force him to participate in freak offs. I'm still learning as a biological stepfather. It's not an easy life. I really just created a LGBTQ son, is what I created. My boy Nate Dogg says that's an every other weekend event. Well, my boy Tyler says facts. Well, look at, sometimes I understand why Diddy did a lot of his stuff. I get it. Like, as long as here's my stick on it. Okay, the whole Diddy thing. The more I think about it, if Diddy's just hanging out with adults and they're all just crapping on each other's chests, okay, just do what you want. As long as it's just adults doing that, And everybody who participates in that weird crap, they could do their own stuff. But, that's the way I look at it. I'm not going to judge too much on it. Let's see. My boy Nate Dogg says, you got to fix that lock, man. No, dude, I ain't fixing that. Hell no. Well, actually, I probably should. I gotta be better with that. I've learned my lesson. No, I haven't. I will never learn my lesson. That's the one lesson that I will always teach others, is never try to teach me a lesson. Like, don't try to teach me a lesson. Nature's already done that enough. Nature's already messed with me. But so it's like, just don't teach me a lesson. And that's actually probably the best attitude I could have. Is if people try to teach me a lesson, I'll teach them a lesson. Don't teach me a lesson. It's as simple as that. But that's my philosophy. I go off on. See, that's the problem. When I'm out in nature, I go off in tangents. My mind wanders. I get into a philosophical mode. I'm philosophical, bro. I'm Velociraptor. It's one of the best memes of all time. Is back in the day, for all you kids who don't know, the early internet, there was Velociraptor, there was Bachelor Toad, there was all the memes. Look up all the glorious memes. There was Insane Wolf, Courage Wolf, you know, like just motivational memes, demotivational memes. MemeGenerator.net was probably the greatest website to ever come about. Let's see. My boy Ty Lord says, no, he can't. Not allowed. Absolutely. I will not fix the lock. Make sure you guys like the video and simp subscribe to the channel. I need more simps, all right? So if you guys like the video and simp to it. When I say simp, I mean just like, you know, give me Venmo money. Stop, you know, gotta be a simp. I'm your number one simp. Oh man. But I am trying to definitely shill products that I love doing product reviews on things I already own. That's probably the best part about being an Amazon associate is I get to talk about any sort of product I already currently own. It makes my life a lot easier. Pretty cool. It's the way to do it, man. My mussy. Yeah, I still got a 53% battery on here, so I could stay out here as long as I really want. The only thing that sucks is if I'm out here a little too long, I don't want the mosquitoes to mess with my mussy. So my mussy is the bussy. But yeah, it's fun to try to reach new subscribers, get a few more watch hours, and really expand the show as much as possible. And but yeah, I did a Pocket Vac review. That was pretty dope. But yeah, reviewing products. By the way, anybody who's doing Amazon Associates or anybody who wants to get into affiliate marketing is really, especially when you get into a network like Amazon's, it's like the sky's almost the limit. It's really, you're limited by how much stuff you already own that's sold on Amazon. So I actually could, a funny thing is I was actually going to do a review on the Amazon garbage bags that I have because I got Amazon Basics garbage bags. I may do a review on the Amazon Basics bed, which is not going to be a good review because that thing was good for a little bit, but then it just was like, it was an all foam bed. It was pretty rough. So don't buy. I think buying a bed in a box is not always the best idea, unless it's like a full out bed, like a purple mattress. Those are cool. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of bed in a box though, man. I think it's not my bag anymore. It used to be, but as I ended up getting a full out regular mattress, which was pretty dope. Pretty cool. They took on my baby, 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 oh my baby, 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 oil. The oil, it wasn't mine. Why do they call me pedo? Such a funny song. I keep thinking about like all the Rucka Rucka Ali videos, music videos. Those are pretty sick. I feel like a creeper out here, to be honest. I was thinking I might go take a bit of a walk. I might go walk around like a few spots, but you know, check out it. But it's a good spot to do a show. I really do enjoy doing a show from here. It's sitting surrounded by bamboo. I'm surrounded by nature. I could do some ASMR videos where I just talk about my mussy. Oh, my butt's kind of hurting. Oh. Stocks Family Farm says, just bought another 100 XRP. I know your opinion, but I want to increase my holdings. I'm speculating on a big jump. All right, man. Hey, I'm not going to fault you for it. I get it. I know my feelings are, I gotta keep cut. Sorry, my tooth keeps cutting up my lip a little bit. It's like frustrating, but my philosophy is, I still think it's worthless, but I do understand people like to gamble, so I get that. So if people like to gamble, gamble, do your thing. But I will say this: I still don't think it's a long-term investment. I feel more comfortable betting against the crypto markets than betting for them, but I get it though. And TJ, man, oh yeah, you already know my opinion, brother. Uh, and I honestly, more power to you. I hope it goes up. I hope people push it up, and it is. I will say this about the crypto markets though: the volatility it is exciting. I will say that. I may not believe in crypto, but here's one positive we'll say about the crypto markets. They are fun if you're wanting a little bit of excitement and gambling. Like, ooh, I'm gonna risk a couple bucks or something, right? Like that. So it is fun to risk a little bit of money. Stocks Family Farm says I'm already up like 1,500%, but I'm going to trade it for metal when I get enough. Honestly, man, I would look for ways to hedge your bets, and that's just my personal opinion. I don't know how to bet against XRP, but if there is a way to bet against it, like bet on the downturn of it, it might be worth looking into. I'm not saying completely short it. I don't really know what vessels are out there, to be honest, that allow you to bet against XRP, but maybe bet against it partially. So that way, if you do incur a bit of a loss, or like on the bit of the downturn, you can at least cover any losses that you would have had, in theory. So that's one of the reasons I like to bet against crypto. Like, I like to bet against Bitcoin, obviously, because I got into Bitcoin really early. And this is a story I've told many people, and I think TJ, you already probably know the story. But to anybody who hasn't heard the story, I got into Bitcoin early. I realized it was a bit of a Ponzi scheme. And then I started to realize, shit, I can't support this. Just because everybody tries to convince somebody that something's valuable doesn't mean it is. Perceived value is not really 100% true. And so that does matter to a point. But it's cool that you're up a certain amount, man. That's pretty dope. Well, what else we got here? But yeah, it's fun to be out here doing a live. Make sure you guys like the video, though. Subscribe to the channel. Actually, I think I might go for a walk. Let's go take the tripod and turn it into a selfie stick real quick. Oh, my butt hurts. Oh, sitting on the bench for too long. Oh, ouch. That's the one thing, man. When you sit on a bench for a little too long, your rump starts to hurt. Oh, I'll tell you, mine's starting to hurt quite a bit. Yeah, it's still bleeding a little bit. Hold on, folks. Let's see. Stocks Family Farm says I try to use metal and crypto gains to pay for my kids' school. It's not a bad idea, my man. Not a bad idea at all. Hey, as long as it's side income for you, man, as long as you're making a little bit of side income, I think it's a good thing. But yeah, I think what you're doing is a good thing, man. I think it's pretty dope. But just always keep in mind, that even though there's a possibility it can go up, it just may very well go down. Because if it has an intrinsic value of 0, the risk is it leans more to the downside than the upside. But there is still a chance of an upside if enough people try to pump it up, as they say, a little higher than they probably should. Let me see here. All right, so I think making sure my phone is in here enough. Ooh. Hold on. All right, there we go. I think we're F it, we'll do it live. All right, it's in there well enough, I think. Yeah. I hope. It's the one thing about having the phone in this thing. As much as I think it's in there well, probably isn't. All right, so I don't invest more than I'm willing to lose. Yes, thank goodness. That's probably the best thing, man. That's the one thing I scares me when people start getting into that stuff a little too much. All right, we'll take a. Actually, you know what? I guess it's a good time to show people the Mingus Park Disc Golf Course. Par for the core. Par for the course. Here we go. Wherever that saying is. So, all right, we're going to take a bit of a walk. And I took a walk around the world to ease my troubled mind. All right, before it gets too dark, we're going to take a wooded walk. I'm going to bring a stick with me. All right. So there's a few trails that one could go. Let's see. TJ says, I didn't know that they had one until you told me that day. Oh, about the disc golf course? Yeah. So we got the disc golf course up here. It's kind of up this way and stuff. But, yeah, it's a good spot, man. I love it. Nature. Let's see. TJ says, I need to buy some discs. I used to play all the time in Iowa. So what TJ's saying, yeah, it's fun to play. I don't really play very often. I got so many things going on that I just usually play basketball for the most part, just because I can find a rim, I can find a hoop, and just go shoot the ball. That's pretty much it. I'm a simpleton. But yeah, no, I love walking out here, man, in nature. There's a trail down there, and there's a trail up here. And there's two ways you could take. Now, I wonder if there is anybody playing disc golf right now. Probably not. I don't know. It's getting a little late, so we may not see anybody playing disc golf. But oh, there was a squirrel or a little chipmunk. It's cool the different types of nature you see out here. I know I have one disc. I have to look for my other. If I can find my other disc. Yeah, anybody who lives in town who's watching the stream, if anybody ever wants to disc golf, man, it's pretty fun. It's a very enjoyable sport. Oh. Let's see. So they got the different. So this, I can't remember where this trail leads. Yeah, this trail actually leads to one of the discs things. Pretty cool. I will admit, Mingus has one of the bigger disc golf courses out here. Oh, hell yeah, Starlink dish. That'd be sick, man, especially if you're hiking with one of those. It'd be tight as hell. Yeah, I do love the Starlink stuff. It's very interesting. Whew. All right. So there's one of the disc crates and everything, and oh. Well, winded already. Yeah, it's getting a little dark though. See what time it is here. 7:24. So let's see. Stocks Family Farm says I'm on Starlink right now. Actually, we have that, and they just got us fiber a few months ago. Heck yeah, dude. That's pimp. Yeah, I thought about getting Starlink. I thought that would be, I mean, I don't really need it where I'm at, but if I ever like lived in a more remote area, you know, I think Starlink could be fantastic. It really would. Let's see, Redbeard, first 90 says stay shredded, Garza. Hell yeah. Feeling pretty shredded right now. I'm not really that shredded though. This is pretty much all I'm working with. But keeping my core pretty good. Keep my legs good, but I do got to get more arm strength. Feeling good though, feeling good. Gonna go home and eat here in a little bit. But yeah, I like these wooded areas. They're really cool, really fun. So, Stocks Family Farm says we pay $210 a month for internet out here. Damn. Whew. It's cool you guys get internet though out there, but still, that is a lot, man. That is a lot, I'll admit. Yeah, this is the rest of the disc golf course here. Kind of at the tippy top here. And technically, if I wanted to, I could race it down. Yeah, it's good shit. But yeah, it's a good deal on the internets, man. Hell yeah. Oh man. Yeah, here's the entire look at this here. At the, so I think, where the hell are we here? Cool thing is we're here, so then you got this. Pretty good pretty good course map here. It's pretty neat. Basket, you get the holes. So pretty dope shit, man. I need to start doing more live streams like this because it forces me to get out and walk. But yeah, kind of up more on the top of the hill. So there are other routes I could take, but I think the other ones are a little more braided off or something. So Stocks Family Farm says that place looks like my yard. Hell yeah. Let's see. And stocks also says it used to be way more before we got fiber. It was $345 for 2 dishes. Oh damn, man. Yeah, Starlink is neat, but Starlink can also be pretty expensive. At least it is a newer product. So newer products do tend to be a little bit more. I think hopefully Starlink will be a little more like affordable in the future. Hopefully, at least that's the whole goal behind it. But you never know. I know they're trying to keep it as low as possible, but I understand Elon's got to make money on his investment somehow. You know, it's not necessarily the cheapest thing in the world to throw satellites up in space, but it's a really cool concept, man. Yeah, I love the whole Starlink. Yeah, it's pretty dope. Let's see. How should I make my way down? There actually is a way down where there's another trail, because I took the one trail that leads to the side. There is one trail that leads straight down to the bottom, so we'll just make our way down to the park. I don't feel like doing a big old loop-de-loop. I just feel like going straight down the pipe. It's going to be a bit of a trail. Actually, I'll give you guys a first-person point of view. There we go. You guys could act like you're seeing from my angles. Just do like Doom or something like dun 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 dun. Let's see. So this looks like a path. I think I could go down. It's been a while since I've taken some of these trails. It's getting a little dark. There's one path that intercepts to the main trails. Probably take that way back, hopefully. Let's see. Place looks like my yard. Yeah, dude. It's beautiful out here, man. This is disc golf course. Gotta hit the chains. Hold on. All right. Gotta throw a stick in there. Question is, okay, there's one of the trails. Oh yeah, here's the trail. I think this leads back to the regular trail. Here we go. So there should be a little bridge coming up. It's funny, there used to be a little river over here. It's dried up though. It's summertime, so that makes sense. Yeah, a little bridge. This would jump up on the bridge, and then go your way down and take the trail. It's pretty cool out here. Yep. I'm gonna do a run. Just like it's like a first-person shooter game. Yeah, the trails aren't too vast out here at Mingus, but they're pretty neat. Get a good walking out here. No. I don't recommend women walk out here alone because it's like, I don't know. I always get like rapey vibes out here. Like, like people are coming out to touch my pussy or something. You know what I mean? That's what I'm afraid of. I don't think anybody wants to touch this ass. Hold on. So the camera was probably a little bit blurry. So get a better camera, says lift you up. Minecraft POV. Yeah. Yeah, it's really neat though. This is decided wooded angles. You know, you gotta get. See, this is what live streams should be made for. It is fun to take a look into nature and see what you can find and adventure. Although it is getting a little dark out here, you guys. So, TJ says, now I know where you hike. Yeah, I'm not a tough person to find. Well, I guess I can be. I could be slightly elusive. And then this is a trail, but I don't know where this trail goes to. I don't really want to know. I'm more familiar. And then this is more of an interesting area. Whew. Yeah, pretty cool, man. So I think we're almost at the end of the trail. This is what I call a good walk right here. Yeah, I went up a hill, went down a hill. That's why I wear these tank tops so much easier. It's kind of nice. Friday night, I get to stay up kind of late. Then I'm going to go watch the cats. I got to go make sure the kitty cats are okay tomorrow. Got to babysit the kitties. Ugh, cats. But yeah, no, this is a heck of a trail, though. Whew. I think we're almost at the end. At least we're getting close. Now, this is where the old chimney used to be. Miss the old chimney. They tore it down, probably because me and my hooligan friends back in the day were making fires and stuff, but oh, there's tents everywhere here. What the hell? Pretty dope, though. Oh, I think they're doing some sort of swimming meet. But yeah, no, we used to hang out back up here as kids all the time. It was awesome, man. Making fires. It's pimp. Well, so we're pretty much back to normal Mingus. Yep, so we're getting back at it. I'll probably end the stream here in just a few moments. I mean, I've been doing this for about an hour and 33 minutes, so probably gonna go home, clean up the place a little bit, probably get some rest, and maybe probably pre-record a few demonstration videos of some products, and maybe talk about a couple products and figure something out. Yeah, it's not as dark, but yeah, when you're out in those wooded areas, it's definitely a little darker. But yeah, the sun's starting to go down a little bit more, so. Oh man, pretty cool though. All right, so almost here. Yeah, I forget they're doing like a swim meet, so I think they like camp everywhere and stuff, which is dope as shit. I think that's cool. We made it back. Here we go. We're killing it though, killing it. And then we're going down here from this trail. Kicking butt, man, kicking butt. Well, they got the porta potties, hell yeah, if I need to take a piss. But yeah, I think they're doing like an all weekend sort of dealio. Ugh. Rendezvous back at the bench. Here we go. I'm gonna pop a squat real quick, because that was actually kind of a longer walk than I anticipated. So pop a squat, put the camera up real fast. Whoop. Hold on. Okay. TJ says I'm out of breath going on that walk with you. Absolutely, man. That was a bit of a more of a walk than I anticipated. It's been a while since I've done that walk, so it's pretty fun. I'm just glad I wasn't like layered in clothing. I just had my my little tank top on and called it good, man. So, but yeah, so we're looking at the poll real quick. We got 9 votes in the poll. Let's see. Should cover call ETFs be in your portfolio? 22% of you say yes, and 78% of you say no. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm a little out of breath. Yeah, I'll end the stream here in just a second, just because I am going to get my caboose home here in a sec and pack up my bags, because I'm going to do some stuff tonight. Got to get my shit together. It is nice to be able to kind of stay up a little bit late, though. I just needed to get out of the house and I've just been kind of using any excuse I can to be outside. It's just too nice out. I know when I'm watching the cats, I'm probably gonna be chilling out in the yard, and probably maybe on my laptop chilling out in the sun, maybe put an umbrella out or something, and, cover myself. It'll be dope. Oh, it was a fun walk, though. All right, have a great night, Mr. TJ, dude. Hell, fun talking to you, my man. Thanks to everybody who came in on the chat. I know my boy Tim had some things going on and stuff like that, so it's all good. And then we got my boy Nathan in the house. We had my boy my boy Ty Lord in the house. We had some crypto. Unfortunately, he has some crypto bros, but I do enjoy a good debate. So it is fun to debate the crypto bros out there. And like I said, I have my boy Nathan and my boy Ty Lord, my boy TJ in the house. Hell yeah! Always appreciate it when people feel like popping on in. It's always tight. But other than that, it's just the way it goes, man. It was a fun little walk. We started out in the bamboo area, which is like way over there, and then we just went up through all the different hills. I mean, I've been walking, like I used to walk all the way from like North Bend, Coos Bay, then back to North Bend every day when I was working 2 jobs and stuff. So when I was younger, I used to be able to do it. I mean, I can still do this, but I will say is I'm not as in shape as I used to be. I still have the muscles in my legs, though, thank goodness, but I developed a lot of muscle just walking everywhere back in the day, so my legs are very big. I'll just say that. I got big legs, man. Very big, very huge. But anyway, though, I'll catch you guys later. I keep saying I'll catch you guys later, but I will be pressing the X button on this here. Later, guys, and I may do some product reviews tonight, so if you guys see some, don't be surprised. All right, later, everybody.